Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark spring movies.
No.
Not yet.
Love-you-ary? Love-you-ary movies.
There we go. I'm Brian, and I
What do you
like
love?
Hallmark
What do you like?
spring movies.
No, not yet.
Love you,
Love-you-ary.
Yeah.
Love you, Ari movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark spring.
What? No,
No.
Dan, you dummy.
Love-you-ary movies.
Yep.
And this is the
Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, howdy-ho,
Oh,
everybody.
boy.
How are we
Howdy-ho,
doing
neighbor.
today?
Yeah.
Great.
The last day of February.
Wow.
People thought to themselves, what if 1 month was shorter than all the rest? And that's today.
And they were British.
Yeah.
Those that thought that were British.
Yeah.
They thought that's
My
right.
only explanation for that is they were British, because
They were British.
we
That's
would have
right.
never.
We would
No.
have never.
What's the deal with that, though? What's the deal with that?
Shorter month?
Shorter month.
He's got to fit them all in
I mean,
there.
30 days
you know?
has September,
You
April,
gotta
June, and
fit them all
November.
in there.
They can't
you
all
think
be
if we
the same.
had, if
So
we
there
did
was
30 or
like a
31,
calendar meeting, and they were like, well, we got to fit them all in there.
And also,
and
like, if everything's the same, it's just so boring. You need
you
to,
could
like...
give February 30 days and take a day away from March and a day away from August, and you'd still have 365.
why are some days 31, some days 30?
Days?
Why are some months 31 and
Yeah.
some months 30?
They had to make it rhyme.
Yeah.
30 days has November, April, June, and November.
Yep. They
Nope.
came up with a
30
rhyme
days have
first.
September.
So they came up with that first.
They came up with that first. They're like, I got this rhyme.
Work backwards, yeah.
Let's go. It's bad. It's a
That seems like a
reverse.
complicated way to do
It
that.
does, but that's how they did it. That's how the calendar.
Interesting.
What's
commission.
that with the political thing?
are you
There's
doing?
there's a fly. There's like a little
You keep looking
insect.
like you're trying to
Are
catch
you
the Holy
doing-
I'm
Spirit
making
up
hand
here.
signals.
If
There's-
you're watching on philo.tv/DTH, you can see Brian go crazy in real time.
He's been going
These are
nuts
calendar
today.
signals.
He just keeps
Right
doing
there.
this.
Look at that thing.
Just
it's like
let it live its life,
It's
man.
rarely here. No one would notice.
No, but all right, we'll see.
You
when this
drew
comes out.
attention to it. It was you. You drew attention to it. Guys,
Just gonna sit here and try to ignore it.
We're
What
getting word in the chat. Julius Caesar and Caesar Augustus each took a day from February to make the months named after them longer. July and August. For those of you that couldn't put those together.
but wouldn't February already be shorter?
I think so, yeah. I don't know how accurate
'Cause it's
Jessica is.
Yeah, 30. But I'm saying July's a 31er.
Yes, and August is a 31er.
Yep.
So they're saying January and August reach 30.
What?
We caught her at a bad time. She's got a
July.
butterscotch in her mouth.
What are you talking about?
They're saying that January and August were both 30, so they each took a day.
You mean
off
July and
yeah,
August.
What did I say? Yes, sorry, and took made them 31.
You remember January Caesar.
Yep. That one, yep. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
The lesser known Caesar,
my-
but
my-
still a good
He's more of
Caesar.
a Caesar salad kind of.
Now I'm interested. I didn't know months. I didn't know that months
Fair,
were
more than
months
fair.
were named after
They
people.
called him Little Caesar.
I didn't know months were named after people. What's January? January Jones?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
after her,
Julius and Caesar Augustus. It's in January Jones.
January Jones.
That's right. Danny February. Very well.
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
no,
up, everybody?
No.
It's day of February. It's the last day of my month.
Most years.
Yes. Guys, can I ask you a question?
I guess. Yeah.
If you were given 13 reasons why the show on DVD, what would you do with it?
Just probably chuck it right
God
in the trash.
bless. That was weird.
Thank you, Danny.
That was weird.
February.
Danny Feb.
Guys, we're talking about Made for Each Other, the last Love-you-ary movie.
Oh, wow.
We got a big week this week. We got this. We've got The Way Home, a big episode there. When Goes the Heart is still chugging along. We've got a Hallmark Movies and Mysteries Mahogany joint on Friday. You might be wondering yourself, guys, when's the preview show? Guys, when's the preview show for
Yeah,
the
am.
March movies? Well, see, what happened here is there actually was no official new movie next Saturday.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So what they did is they did like a set of movies that they dropped on Hallmark Movies Now.
Yeah.
And one of those movies is going to premiere on TV on Saturday, but it's kind of like a throwaway, like, hey, we're doing it. So next week we're doing the preview show for the rest of the March Truly New Boys.
March Truly New Boys.
And it is a big month, everybody.
Yeah, it is.
A
You
big
got
month.
Hines, Palaha, Campbell,
Rady.
Holy cow.
I know.
Man.
But we typically don't even
March
talk
the new
about
November?
How many days are
if Julius
March and
Caesar has anything to do
November?
about it.
Janus, Januaron.
But what I'm trying to say, we don't usually do the Hallmark movies and mysteries during the preview shows.
That's right.
But it feels wrong not to preview a Rady and a Campbell, right?
There's a Rady mystery.
A Rady mystery and a
Wow.
and a Campbell mystery.
Separate or are they in the same flick?
Separate.
Okay.
come
All right, so 2. Okay. Yeah, we got to do those. Right?
Palaha's back on the town
Man, on the town.
And
Can
on
you
the
believe
field.
it?
with a hairstyle to boot.
Currently,
And a crutch?
my kid, my 6-year-old at home, if he's upset about something, he'll say it's the worst in the town.
Yeah.
It just made me think of it. I just want it documented because I'll forget it someday. Like he'll show up for dinner and he'll be like, "Oh, chicken is the worst in the town."
That's true.
And I'm like,
Similar to that, my oldest talks about the city a lot. Like so, like at night when we're having I'm like, who do you want to pray for? And he's like, I want to pray for everybody in the city. Like, why you want to pray for everybody in the city?
everybody in the
Cold.
city.
Food's getting cold.
Yeah.
It's flu season. Look at it.
Yeah.
We pray for everybody in the city. Guys, you want to talk about Made for Each Other?
Sure.
Yes.
Made for Each Other was the last Lovuary movie.
We already covered that.
Yep. Any new March movies? When are we
Guys,
going to preview those?
bug
Should we
off.
preview them?
Guys, bug
Man,
all the
some
way
March
off.
Newly Boys. What about
Yeah.
this one this Saturday?
It originally aired
March is the
on...
new November.
Guys, go
Not if Julius Caesar's
go
anything to say
all the
about
way
it.
home. You guys are the worst in the town.
Little Caesar.
The worst
Just
in the
get-
town.
you guys-
Whoa! What is happening?
What are
Wow. Thank you.
those?
Thank you.
Oh, she's telling you to kick rocks.
February 25th, which was 10 months until Christmas for those of you who are counting at home. Special Christmas morning episode
No one
happening.
was counting at home.
I'm just saying, if you could be Christmas morning podcast that me and my buddy Scott do every week. We do a special episode on the 25th.
Yeah, you do.
For monthly,
Well, we
and
care
it
about
was
that.
a fantastic episode. We call it our monthly Christmas party, and we have people send stuff from all across the country, and we play it on the show, and it's a lot of fun. One of my favorite episode I think we've ever done was
was a
on
good one.
Saturday. It was a great episode. The movie also aired on the 25th, so pick one or the other, I guess. Made for Each Other went a little something like this. Rachel is a sculptor looking for love. She's the type of person who...
Doing
you
it.
go to the one. Go to
Are
the
you
one.
trying
go
out
to
for
the one.
Navy
Go to the
SEALs?
one.
Are you in
Go to
SEAL?
the one.
Look,
Go to the
Aaron,
one.
quick.
Get up there.
Get him!
Dang it, Aaron.
Fire her.
I know there's new buttons.
Wow. Dude, Navy SEAL.
No one's ever
Navy
going to believe
SEALs.
me.
Everybody
No one's ever
yelling
going to
about.
believe me that Dan was crawling on
Navy
the
SEALs
floor
called.
for candy.
You would not have seen it. I was so covert.
So stealth.
Made for Each Other. Okay.
Amazing.
She's a sculptor looking for love. She's the type of person who talks to a statue about how she's feeling. She's also an art teacher. She teaches others how to sculpt and whatnot with clay. And her student, she's at a student showcase. Her mom shows up and is like, show us some of your sculptures.
Do you even?
And the students are like, I didn't know there was an option. Yeah, show us. And she's like, no, I'm not going to show you. But her mom is like, okay, well, I brought you a date, and he's a doctor, and they are not hitting it off at all, especially after he just doesn't get art. I just don't get it. He's like, deuces, and she's like, deuces. And then we meet David. David is not like deuces. David is a friend of Rachel's sister's fiance. And he's an up-and-coming stand-up comedian. And if you don't think we're going to get any stand-up comedy in this movie, you are correct. So Rachel is talking to her friend Doris. And Doris is looking at the creation that she's made, clay, which is a full-body sculpture of a man, and she's like, this is my take on the perfect man. And Doris is like, well, I got to tell you about this. There's a Jewish folklore that you can make clay come to life. And also, I have this necklace ready to go. If I've yet to come into a situation to use this, but I do have it, and we are going to put it on this sculpture and see what happens. So they leave for the night. They're like, oh, funny. The next day, she goes back to her studio, and Clay is alive, shirtless, wearing just a towel, blowing Rachel's mind. He is absolutely perfect. She takes him to her sister's wedding. And
this is good stuff, Brent.
What's that?
This is good stuff.
Thank you. And takes her to the wedding, and this bums David out because David kind of has a thing for Rachel. And Clay's perfect, but he's still like learning about the world. So he copies everything that Rachel is doing. He's just going hard on any food that he can get his hands on. It's just like amazing. They end up showing up to David's stand-up comedy show. She thinks it's hilarious. He doesn't think it's funny, accidentally ends up heckling David, and then he just goes hard on French fries because why wouldn't you? The next day, David finds out that his roommate is moving out. So he tries to find a new roommate, finds out that Clay needs a place to stay. So he offers his extra room to Clay, and Clay is like, living with my best friend, David? Yes, please. David's like, best friends, what? Rachel starts to question if Clay is too perfect. And she starts to think more and more about David. Why can't I get this David guy off my mind? I've got this perfect person in my life now. This is stupid. And she thinks she maybe is starting to like David. Doris is like, hey, Clay is perfect. And if you don't stay with him, he's going to go back to just being a sculpture. And you don't want that. The guy's had food at this point. David complicates things by going to one of her classes. She decides that she's going to help him sculpt a dog, basically ends up sculpting the entire dog herself. The class ends up leaving. It's just the two of them. It is quite the day. He's like, this is amazing. It's amazing to watch you do your thing. Rachel's mom complicates things by giving Clay a ring to propose to Rachel. Rachel gets mad at David when he tells her that she needs to put herself out there, show people her work. And she's like, one time I was judged for something, never again. She does end up applying, though, to be judged. And he ends up getting into Laugh Fest. Guys, we've been trying to get into Laugh Fest
someday.
Forever. Yeah. The people at Laugh Fest won't return our calls.
Not a time of day.
She is possibly because of what we just did there. She's at the contest.
Funny in the
well, you didn't even try, Dan.
I didn't even hear it. I was tuned out, and then by the time I heard it, I was like, "Oh."
What were you doing? What are you possibly doing?
I was eating a sour kick over here.
You can't eat a kick and listen?
Clearly not.
Guess not. You said the sour stays with you.
So if you were in
Laugh Fest, though, man.
Tell me about it.
So
Trying to get into that for years.
She's at the contest. He's at Laugh Fest. Doris shows up and tells David, hey, David, you need to go and tell Rachel how you feel, because if you don't, she's going to end up staying with Clay forever. Well, can't have that. She ends up winning the art tournament. It's not a tournament, but you get what I'm saying.
World Cup of Art.
World Cup of Art. And she's giving a speech, and all of a sudden Clay comes up and is like, I'm going to change your life forever. Gets down on a knee, opens up that ring box, says, hey, I love you. David walks in with flowers and is like, stop, I love you. And she's like, come again? She goes back and forth between the two, and she ends up breaking up with Clay. And Clay is like, what? Why are you doing this? And she's like, because it's just what's best. But I'm going to do you a solid. You keep the necklace on. Go pursue your dreams. Live them out. And he's like, okay, great. So he goes off. And she and David end up kissing. And after that, we see her scrolling on her phone back in her studio. And we find out all sorts of things, like Clay is now a famous chef. Her and David are, I believe, engaged. And we're all better for it. And that, my friends, was Made for Each Other.
We did it.
We did do it, everybody. Congratulations to everyone involved. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down with 4 segments here on Deck the Hallmark. Oh boy! Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm having fun today. I'm having a good time. A big old laugh fest.
I don't think Laugh Fest agrees, but that's fine. Jury's still out.
Yeah,
Jury's still out. Guys, let's do this. Let's break it down with 4 segments. Let's start with the hot take. I'm going to kick it over to my good friend Brian. Yeah. Brian, what'd you think of Made for Each Other?
So you do a great job on the synopsis, Brand, but today, for some reason, it just did not did this movie justice. I feel like there was a lot that happened in this movie that just can't be captured with words in a recap. No, I'm not, no trickery or anything. I'm just...
You about to do something, Brian?
No, I got nothing. planned. I'm just telling you that this movie...
The synopsis was bad, Brian.
No, the
Brian
synopsis
is just
was
looking at
good.
you and saying unequivocally it was not good.
They're
today.
always good. I can't wait for the AI rendition of it, where you run it through the AI
that's
engine.
Gonna be fun. Yeah,
that's good stuff. But this one, I had a blast with this movie. Like, this movie was my favorite of the year so far, albeit a short year. We're only in February, shordest month.
It's a short
year.
year.
Went over this.
It's a short year this year.
This paired perfectly with my 15 Munchkins donuts that I was eating on Sunday morning. Could not have had a better time. Maybe the Munchkins contributed to the overall good time, but I laughed more at this one than I have in a long time at a movie. This guy, I got his name here, Aaron O'Connell, who played Clay.
Yeah.
Perfect in this role. Like, I don't think it could have been done any better. Like, this is top notch, top shelf, elevated. Like, he was in the stratosphere in this role.
In the stratosphere.
Like, he was elevated out of this movie, and just put this up against other real movies, like theatrical movies, where this character, this whole thing is going on. I think he's up there. It's one of the best. Like, the way he played this role, phenomenal. I couldn't get over it. And he nailed every funny moment. Like, he nailed it. There wasn't one where it's like, oh, I get what he was going for. He nailed them every time. I didn't need the whole, like, explanation from the mom about no relationship was perfect at the end. I mean, whatever. I guess you got to do that whole thing.
That's interesting. I feel like that would have been like a lesson you've learned, because you always learn lessons from these movies.
Love is hard. I already learned that.
Okay, that's true. I guess you've already learned everything.
I already know that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I got what they were putting down with the whole, like.
Good. You were picking up what they were putting down.
Exactly.
I'm glad you got it.
I got it in the bag. Yeah, you want something that's perfect. You get what's perfect. You realize it's not everything that you want. She didn't get as annoyed with him as I thought she was going to. Like, I thought she was going to get really
Me
fed.
too.
Yeah.
I kept thinking she's like, oh, this dude is colossally dumb. And she never does it.
No, she had a good like, she was they got along great. So I was kind of surprised by that. But favorite of the year, I had a blast. I would definitely watch it again. Really, really legitimately funny.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to need to go to my war room and pray about it, but I think this movie is up there for me, possibly my favorite of the year.
What would be your favorite of the year?
I don't know. I need to go back through and
war room. Yeah, got
it. Yeah.
The Paris one was really
the what
really
one?
Good. The Paris one, Paris Proposal, right? Wasn't that one?
No,
we all agreed. No, we didn't all.
No,
agree
that was
on
just you, buddy.
Okay.
You learned a lot of lessons in that movie.
Learned
This movie was so funny. You know, we had the pleasure of chatting with Matt Cohen on Friday, and if you haven't checked out that episode, please do, because I think chatting with him, not just about this movie, but also getting to know him, like, he's very funny, and this movie was very funny, and hearing him just talk about how Clay is his favorite character he's ever seen, like, all of it, I think, kind of helped this movie even more. Like, this movie was already a lot of fun, but hearing him talk about the movie made the movie even more fun than it already was. Very funny. There's not much to dislike in my mind. I mean, the only thing is, if you want to get picky, like, he just didn't do the laugh fest, but then ultimately he ends up...
He gets to do it anyway.
He gets to do it anyway, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And Clay gets to be a famous chef. We're all happy. Everything's coming up basis. So for me, big fun. Maybe 6 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
The thing about... The reason that Hallmark should do more of these absurdist plot lines is because there's a lot less for us to, like, pick at. If the movie starts with, I'm going to put a necklace around a sculpture and it's going to become alive, we're not going to get in the weeds and be like, why would you do this or that? There's a living sculpture. So it serves a few purposes there. The movie is funny. It's funny. The serious moments are the moments that don't work as well for me. The funny stuff really worked. Aaron O'Connell, really funny.
Crushed it.
Alexandra Tertian, whom I've never seen in anything, I thought she was wonderful. I kept waiting for her to get really, really mad at Clay, and it never happened, and that started to frustrate me. Like at some point,
Yeah.
you're going to be like, this guy's as dumb as a box of hammers.
But maybe that's the perfect guy to her. In her mind, the perfect guy was dumb.
But then he learns like all about the law, and it's still, it's not that he doesn't know things, it's that he doesn't know anything that matters.
Yeah.
He can study things and learn how to cook or learn how to be like, take the LSAT, but like in everyday conversation is just under a golden retriever. And so it's like, she never ever gets to that point. And so it's weird that we get that the movie progresses like it does. But I laughed a lot.
Imagine like being his age and trying French fries for the first time. It's hard to get over that. Yeah. And so it kind of like
if you tried French fries, if you tried like buffalo wings for the first time,
I wouldn't
now,
be. I would not like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sure. I'll learn other stuff, but I'm
here
constantly going to
for
be at
wings.
buffalo wing level.
Yeah.
Like, I just had wings for the first time.
Here for wings.
Here for
of
wings.
course. Easily best of the year so far. And the reason it's the best of the year is because have you seen the other movies we've watched? We watched 3 Wedding Veil movies. Yeah. We watched a Glacier National movie. We watched Sweeter Than Chocolate. We watched a Paris Proposal. Yeah. This is far and away the best of the year. I'm not ready to say that I like the movie. I'm not ready to say that, but I thought it was funny. I liked the leads. Easily the best of the year. Easily.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing you liked it.
I feel like this is this and Sweeter Than Chocolate are there together for me. Doug.
Dude,
I'll spend time. I'll pray about it, like as I typically
this one's
do.
way better than Sweeter Than Chocolate.
And we'll get to the ranking episode. I think probably at the end of March for Q1.
Q1. Round out
would
Q1.
that be, or would it be April? How do
March.
quarters work?
March is the end of Q1.
There's 3 in the
April,
Augustan calendar. I believe it's July.
Well, and that's how
Julius
because he didn't want
pizza.
Guys, let's talk about all the feels. Did anything in this movie give us feels? And I will start with someone who feels more than anyone I know. He's always
What
learning
lessons did you? Brian's lesson corner.
It's Brian's lessons
Lesson
corner.
corner.
Brian?
Come on in. David watching Rachel sculpt that dog.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If I
Oh
could.
my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. Guys. That, for some reason, that worked really well. Like the fact that they didn't do the thing where I thought she was going to come up behind him and do the whole their hands and all get real weird about it.
Ghost.
It was, yeah, exactly. But it was great. Like he just watched. He was admiring it. You got to see her make the dog. Guys, the poor guy's allergic to dogs. Can you imagine being allergic to dogs and not having a dog? Oh man. And then I could watch Clay watch baking videos all day. That was like one of my favorite things. It was so funny and it was like so true. Like I do that stuff around my house all the time. Like
That doesn't sound like you.
so those 2 things really stuck out to me.
There's a lot of just like funny Clay moments in this movie, but the one that got me just really tickled my funny bone was they're at the wedding and she's like, just stay here and just eat. And so he like scoops all the things off the platter. And then the next scene, you see him in the background just picking food off the platter. And all of that I loved it. And Aaron O'Connell crushed it in this role. He was such a hoot. And, but those moments initially, like, cause that's pretty early on in the movie, made me go like, this is going to be a fun one. Dan?
Yeah, I enjoyed getting to see Terrell Rothery play such a terrible human being.
Oh, the worst.
The mom in this movie is like inexcusably bad, like unbelievably awful in this movie. And so many times they do this, they play that character and they pull a punch somewhere. But Terrell Rothery just has like teeth on this role. Like she is like there, and it is something to watch. And so because it's such a goofy, absurdist movie, you can also get away with bigger, mean parents. And so I appreciated Terrell Rothery's like what she brought, because I was constantly being like, I can't believe I'm watching this in the movie, and it kept happening. So good for her.
If you had a parent that was like that in real life, I just want to apologize. I watched this movie and she made me question my life choices. So I can only imagine if it was my actual mom.
Your
and so I
family,
just want to affirm you and tell you to keep going and to shoot for the stars and your
Follow
dreams.
your dreams and not your mom.
Follow your, yes,
right.
exactly right. Get that tattooed on you.
Yeah.
If you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine
then
too.
don't.
I'm not pressuring you. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll do the Wait, What's, and the What, the Hallmark here on Deck the Hallmark. Great. Great.
That was good. Really good.
I can tell this is going to be a great week.
Right?
I can tell
You
right
think
now.
so?
I can tell right now.
Right now,
guys.
I got a feeling.
This week's
It's gonna be a great week.
Oh, great week.
Great week. I got a feeling.
That this week's gonna be a great week.
This
Week's
week's the
gonna-
week.
Let's live it up. We've got
the
a
way
radio.
home.
And we're in Nashville, yeah. Okay. I can't. So Laugh
we get
Fest
better
For
than
each other.
Laugh Fest just said no straight up to us.
Just
We're
straight
like,
up. At least I
have
got
you
back.
heard you guys.
That hurts.
That stings.
Guys, let's get to the way west. Let's start with Brian. Brian, what are you waiting and what are you wanting, buddy?
in February, and I don't think we ever recovered from there.
We have to start our own Laugh Fest.
That's
I
right.
think
Yeah,
is
I
where
think
we're
so.
headed.
It's called Bramble Fest, everybody.
Tickets on sale, but only like one left. So
One left,
snag it.
yeah.
Selling out fast.
Single digits. We just can't get over the hump.
Turns out we don't even need Laugh Fest, huh?
Yeah.
So why wasn't she? There was no bridal party in the sister's wedding. Like I know people do that, but I just felt like the mother was, like you mentioned, Brand. She was so like brutal that she would not stand for that. Having no bridal party in the wedding, I feel like it would be a little more traditional.
Yeah, if
The
you
whole-
had an actual bridal party.
Exactly.
That'd be great.
But there was, because I'm like, why isn't she the maid of honor? She did the toast and all that. But there
bridal
was,
party.
yeah. So I guess they had to cut it all down, make it simple. But that just caught me off guard. Her teaching. So her job is teaching at. Is it like a community center or like a private?
It's whatever you want it to be.
So whatever. So
Art school.
yeah, but whatever it is, still like she has a really nice apartment for having
Yeah.
just a job where she teaches art.
I said this for years. Teaching art pays the bills.
Had
so
I
if you
known-
out there are wondering what your major
Yeah.
should be, art.
Go for art.
Go for
Always
art.
go for art.
Absolutely.
So I was surprised by that. And then it might be just where they're in New York, so it's really hard to justify it. But also David, who former lawyer, he quit lawyering to do comedy.
Correct.
Also a phenomenal apartment.
Yeah.
Really nice place. So
And he said he quit the week he did his first open mic.
Yeah.
So like he had saved a bunch of money.
So my thing with that was, and it's sort of like what the Hallmark was. Maybe he made great investments. Like maybe he did save a lot of money and he's fine. He's living off dividends and all that stuff. I just wanted like one line of how is he doing it. It just bugged me too much.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah,
They're
the two
good
of 'em.
savers.
I guess so.
Good savers,
I guess so.
those
I had a
two.
nice little nest egg to get
Little
going.
envelope system.
So we got the perfect guy. At the beginning, she says he's always kind and he knows I hate spiders. And I'm just kind of getting tired of the hate on spiders.
Really? You're
Like-
here to stand up for spiders.
Yeah, the arachnophobia, phobia that they're pushing, this narrative that
The
spiders.
arachnophobia phobia.
Yeah, they're
So
really.
people that are
People that
afraid of
scared
arachnophobia.
of being scared of spiders.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not
Any
what-
fear around spiders, the phobia.
That's just arachnophobia.
Yeah.
It's not the phobia of arachnophobia.
But they're like creating a phobia. There's like.
So when
pouring-
you see hold on.
Yeah.
So when
No,
you
yeah.
see a
No.
spider in your house,
Yeah.
you're like goody goody.
Yes, it's fine with me, because the spiders eat the other bugs.
No one in your house is bothered by spiders.
No. We're
Okay,
cool
so
with
maybe
spiders.
have you ever thought maybe your house is the weird house?
No, it's fun. I mean,
To
I
not
don't
have a
let-
single person in your house that says get rid of the spider. You guys just freaking love spiders.
we don't love-
just
and-
laying
no.
laying eggs in your
Like,
mouth
no,
while you
so-
sleep.
No,
So I'm-
not that far.
Our
with
house
it.
is closer to Brian's than yours, Bran. My kids and my wife, they all love bugs.
Yeah.
Now, not cockroaches, but
No.
spiders.
Sure.
Like if there's a spider in the house, it's important to my wife that it gets outside of the house without us killing it.
Absolutely, but you don't leave it in
Which
the
is
house.
weird to me because I don't care one way or the other about spiders. If I see one, I'm just going to step on it, and we're
Sure.
just
See, I'm not doing that.
going to
ever.
go about our day.
No,
Yeah,
Which is
little
absurd.
spider.
I'm fine with caring for it and getting it outside, but you're like full blown. Let's
leave
Let the
it
spiders in.
and
No,
let-
no. I leave it.
Let
and I
the
also,
spiders in.
Yeah, open that window. But I also don't. I don't let them like spider webs accumulate everywhere. Like I keep those clean.
So you like
They're gonna-
spiders, you hate their homes.
Right, I want them to be homeless. So I'm like, you're gonna like
You
you
are
guys
pro
can
homeless
you guys can
spider.
stay, but you got to figure it
Steak
out.
party
You got to figure it.
2024.
Yeah, exactly right. Pro homeless spiders. I just like this. People. I don't think everybody is afraid of spiders. Like it's just low hanging fruit to me. It's like not everybody
and
hates
Hallmark
spiders.
never
They
gets
don't
that
go for the
low-hanging.
low-hanging
They
fruit.
never go for the low.
So I was just like, come on, let's get past this narrative that everybody hates spiders.
I think most
You're
people
not getting
do-
a lot
I
of
think
support.
most people dislike spiders.
I'm the only one that's supporting you here, Brian.
Everybody in the chat hates spiders. Come on,
Yeah.
Holly, kill the spider. I don't even like. I
Brian,
don't
I
like
was
that
with
at
you in
all.
lockstep until this episode, all
Come
episode until
on.
now.
Wow.
Guys, spiders do a lot of good.
Spiders are great when I can't see them.
Yes, you don't have to see them
Yeah.
but just having them around, they do a lot of good.
Don't
That's
have
all.
to see them.
What did she
What?
say?
What
It's,
language say?
if a spider is minding its own business,
Yeah, you
I
leave
will
it
leave it alone unless it is in my bathtub. Then it's going
Go
down the drain.
Well, it has to fight for its life. That is part of it. Like, you can't just willy-nilly like help it along and survive. Help
What do you
it
mean?
survive.
Are you torturing?
No,
spiders?
you have. But I'm getting rid of the
You're
webs.
killing
I'm like,
their homes.
Getting rid of their homes, and then you're poking them.
No, if it's
or
in the
putting
shower,
just enough water in to
if it's
watch them
in the
squirm.
if it's in the shower, and I'm saying, listen, Spider, I'm turning the water on. You got about 3 seconds to get out of
At
here.
the spider club meetings, they got pictures of you on the wall.
I'm up there like,
this
watch
guy
out for
won't
this
kill
guy.
you. He'll just watch
He'll
you
make your
burn.
life very difficult.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm going like welcoming them, but I'm not going out of my way to get rid of them all.
Got it. More than fair.
And
Is
my
that
kids
it?
love them too.
They
Love the bugs. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it. I think we've done enough here.
Brandon also loves snakes.
Bro, I hate snakes.
Tough, man. Snakes are tough.
Guys, can I tell you really quick?
Snakes are good for your yard.
This just reminded me because I dream about snakes a lot, but my dream last night was so specific, and I don't want to forget it, so I'm going to put it
Yeah,
on record.
put it on the record.
Tim Allen is doing carpool karaoke with James Corden. I don't know why. And Tim Allen is also there's a behind the scenes thing. And Tim Allen shows up and he's wearing a mask, and James Corden is like, "Can you please take off your mask because we're doing carpool karaoke?
Sure.
People want to see you sing." And Tim Allen refuses to take off his mask and do all of carpool karaoke without being able to see his mouth, and people don't think that Tim Allen is actually singing in carpool karaoke.
That wasn't about snakes at
Nothing
all.
to do with snakes.
No, I'm
Not
just
even a little
saying. It reminded me of my dream last night, a very specific dream, and I just
Got
wanted
it.
to put it on the
Waiting
record.
for the snake part.
I hate snakes, though. I dream about snakes a lot. They're in my bed. They're under my bed.
Maybe
lot.
they're in the closet.
So let's talk about
Should
this
get a spider.
sculpting a dog situation. Wonderful scene. We love it. A few things that came out of that scene for me, though. He says, "I'm allergic to dogs." And she says, "I didn't know that." Well, could be because you guys just met each other.
Yeah, could be
You didn't-
that.
How did I not know that? How did I not know that in the
Pretty
few days that we've
straightforward,
met each
yeah.
other? Well, I can give you a quick answer. For some reason, he has a brick of clay, and everybody else has
Yeah.
a ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. I think it was maybe just a
He had
choice.
way more clay than everyone
Just
else.
way more clay.
Like double minimum. Double the clay.
Double the clay. Double the fun.
That's right.
And I'm blown away that she was so in the zone. Teacher's in the zone, and you get to the end of class, and everyone just leaves. No one is like, "Hey, is it okay if we leave?" No one's checking with her like, "Hey, are we good?" They're just like, "Time's
I've
up
had
of
enough.
this extracurricular art class that I'm taking to be taught by my teacher that doesn't even know if we're still in the room."
Correct.
We're deucing out. We're deucing out early. So he's getting ready for Laugh Fest. I've never seen this before. He's putting on his shirt and he just punches through the
He
fabric.
punches a hole in the
Has
shirt.
anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever
that's-
seen that?
That's a
He's a
different
strong
That's
boy.
Matt Cohen,
Yeah.
though, for you. I mean,
But
he's
that's Matt
ripping
Cohen. He's got
clothing.
muscles. He's
The
got
best
muscles.
part about that is it's clear that he's that it's broken a little, and so the actor Matt Cohen has to
Right.
get through there. So he gets his arm into a sleeve like nobody has ever done in their
You
life.
just gotta do
You
it.
should have
Yeah.
taped a piece of paper on. Just stapled a piece of paper on.
That's
it.
I see what you did
Okay.
there. Callback.
Oh, yeah,
A
nicely
callback. That was
done.
Only took two
very
references.
well done. And they don't say this, but did he pick flowers on his way
I
to?
think he said that.
He says, "I'm sorry they're dead."
Yeah.
Did he decide I need? What is it faster to
pick
while
them?
you're walking,
Just
picking
pick
them
a
as
few
you go,
weeds?
then versus buying? I don't know, but it was an interesting choice to
It's a
while
move.
walking down the streets of New York City.
Just
Yeah.
show up
You're
for
just-
nothing.
And it was
picking-
cold out, right? So not
Picking
ideal
people-
for
very cold.
flowers.
Picking people's flowers. I don't know. It was an interesting move by my guy
Yep.
who's punching through his shirt and has just a heck of a lot of clay. Dan?
Yeah, this guy has an Instagram where he has 9 total pictures on his account. And that's fine if you only take a picture and put it up once every 8 months or whatever. But one of those 9 is with a girl he just met at a bar. So I'm very confused as to what the bar is for posting
I have a theory.
on it. Please tell me it, Bran.
Here's my theory. My theory is that when he decided he wanted to become a comedian, he deleted all of his past
I
pictures.
thought about this.
Law guy. This is my past life. I'm getting rid of. I'm
He's been a
starting
stand-up
new.
comedian for a while now.
How long? They made it sound like he's relatively new.
But no, he used to do. He said his first open mic night, he had to beg to go up there, and then he just was like, I knew it was my thing. And now he has a regular show that he does where he
It's
goes
not
up
just
there.
him. He's doing an open mic.
But it's not. I know it's not just him, but this isn't his first one. He's clearly
No, I was just saying he's newer. About 9 pictures worth.
You think he's
9 months.
9? But if he took a picture of someone he just met, that means he's done at the most 9 shows
Maybe.
total.
Maybe.
No, this guy, like, they want him to be in Laugh Fest, Brandon.
I know.
He's been
He's
doing
an
this
up
a
and
while.
comer. I don't know. I took him
But-
as being pretty
okay,
new.
but if that's the case, then him posting a picture shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
It just is weird that he's got an Instagram account with 9 pictures and
Yep.
one of them is someone he literally just met.
Maybe he does mostly stories. Or
Yeah, it isn't
maybe
a
it's a
celebrity account.
But
A lot of
yeah.
stories. A lot of stories.
He knows the algorithm.
Two
pictures
things-
the
the
pictures don't
They
don't
move
work.
the
Yeah,
alg-
they
they
do
don't move the
nothing.
numbers. No
Move the
juice
needle
there.
either.
No juice.
I have 2 that
No
bothered
juice
me.
for the pictures on the picture app.
They bothered me more than anything. One, we have 2 dudes giving a declaration of love that interrupt a woman's speech who just won an award.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like they play it out. I kept going. In my head, I kept thinking, she's going to tell them both to kick rocks so she can take the
Yeah.
time to embrace the fact that she went out on a limb, she did the thing she was terrified to do, and she won. But instead, that never happens. Instead, she's like, ooh, this is a tough, both of these dudes love me. Let me, like, it was wild to me that they never let her, like, accept the award and give a speech and be like, hey, art and my life and my career matters. Now, what was this about this dude? Like, it never happened. It was just straight to the love triangle. And I, for the life of me, for a movie like this, I couldn't believe that that's what they did. The whole time they're in that, they literally are standing in a triangle. I was going, she's going to tell them both to shove off for like the next 5 minutes, right? Never did it. So that one really bothered me. And then the other thing that really bothered me was, and some of people really like this, you did because you said it in your synopsis, Clay is still alive out there doing his thing. Like, the whole point of this is Clay doesn't have a background. He's a real Kyle XY. Like, he doesn't have.
Well, hold on there.
He does have a belly button, but he doesn't have a mom or a dad, a social security number, any place to call his own. The whole point is when she realizes that creating a perfect man isn't worth doing, he goes away, he disappears. But they created life from nothing.
Can I
and
ask
then
you a
they
quick
just let
question?
it live the rest of the way.
Since you brought up one of the greatest shows of our generation, Kyle XY.
Yeah, of course.
If you were sculpting
generation.
the perfect person, would
Yeah.
you leave out the belly button?
Yes.
Belly buttons are gross, right?
Belly button doesn't matter.
They don't matter.
You wouldn't need it.
We
Yeah,
don't need
At that
it.
point, but wouldn't it look weird without?
I mean, you get used to it on Kyle XY.
Okay. Oh, you do.
So
All right.
I would say
After staring at Kyle's belly for a long enough
I
time.
would say if everyone just did themselves a solid, and there's a lot of reasons you should do this, but if you were to do it just to get used to seeing someone without a belly button, then you wouldn't
you're
have a
prep
problem.
for AI in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's exactly right.
That's how you can tell. You just
Yeah.
check real
Just
quick.
get rid of
Belly
it.
button
Just-
check.
I couldn't believe that they were like, they created life.
Yeah.
And they just let the life, like, in these movies, the whole purpose is that thing goes away at the end because you realize it was just in your imagination. In this movie, it's like
we fell in love with Clay. You can't kill off
we
Clay.
created life. Like, does Clay have a soul? Let me ask you that. Does he have a soul?
That's of course not.
Brian, does Clay have a soul?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely
He's a
not.
soulless human being,
right.
gang. We did it on the Hallmark
I just
channel.
hope he latches onto the right people.
Yeah,
After
yeah,
that,
because all he has is here and now.
Yes.
He has nothing else.
Listen, if a guy wants to be created and all he cares about is food, let him cook. It's not
Yeah.
hurting anybody.
I'm just saying.
You don't need
Yet.
The whole purpose of Clay is he lives purely to serve Our Leading Lady.
Yeah.
And as soon as she decides she doesn't want that anymore, that should be the end of Clay.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, take the necklace off. Nobody loses. He
and
doesn't
Doris
lose.
does hint at that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what else do we have to, and then we'll save Doris for the What the Hallmark.
Let's get there. What the Hallmark? Spoiler show. We wonder what could have been. Maybe happened. Gives some clarity because we still have. Brian, what are you still wondering about, buddy?
So I was wondering if Doris ever got the necklace back because obviously not.
no, Can't.
Obviously
You gotta
not.
wear it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but does she is she at some point? Is she like,
That was hers.
maybe
That
even-
was not Rachel's to give
That's
away.
right. So Doris, at some point, she's gonna be like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
can I get my necklace back?"
Maybe that's her way of getting free food for the rest of her life.
Ooh, that's a good move. And you mentioned him. He just skipped out on Laugh Fest. Like that seemed inconsequential. That seems like that would be more of a big deal.
Yeah.
Was that actual Laugh Fest or was it a tryout for
That was Laugh
Fest?
Fest because the club owner had a hat on.
That's true.
You're right.
You don't rock a fedora at anything.
No,
You have a
That's
Laugh
special
Fest
night.
fedora.
It's a special night.
It's the Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
he's still
But he
got
can't
it.
get into Laugh Fest without the showcase.
But
But clearly, a year later, he's doing fine.
Yeah. So I guess it was not a big
so he
deal.
got invited back to the showcase the following year. Is
I
that what you're
guess.
getting at?
Or he made it big from his Instagram posts. The last one I had was in this one. So Matt Cohen played.
Figured out reels.
Yeah, reels. That's what I'm thinking here. Matt Cohen played somebody named David Cohen. And I was just always so curious about the choice to use a person's real name in the character. Like, why
Change the first name, leave the last.
Yeah, like why are we doing it? Like, was it written like that before Matt signed on to the movie?
Palo in the Veil.
In the Veil, exactly.
That's
So
exactly right.
it just always makes me. I'm just always curious about that. I would love to know why, how that name situation stuck.
Yeah, more than fair. So at the beginning, towards the beginning of this movie, and I once I heard this line, I knew I had a what the Hallmark, and I didn't need to search any further because I'm still wondering about this. At the arts display early on in the movie, there's the dad who is like, "Hey, I just parked and it ate my credit card,"
Yeah.
which is interesting. I want to know all about it because anytime I've done a parking thing, it's a pull and
It's a
swipe out
slide,
situation.
or it's a use the app.
Yeah.
Or you pay when you leave in a garage.
I've never done a parking machine that it fully takes in my card.
No.
So in this scenario,
you thinking
Brian, you've got an answer to this.
I'm just wondering if you guys have ever eaten a credit card.
Well,
at least one
we
a
don't-
week.
yeah,
we don't need to.
so-
We don't need to
so-
bring
yeah,
up.
yeah,
you
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about horror stories.
Yeah.
Spiders hold nothing to credit cards. But
Yeah, usually it's
Sometimes you get
it's
going on that
it's a
second
quick
credit
swipe.
card. Yeah,
It's a quick swipe.
yeah.
How did this machine take a credit
Yeah.
card? I'm worried about it. I'm worried that it wasn't actually a machine. I'm worried that he like handed it to somebody. And now he's ashamed to say it.
Yeah.
Like someone was like, "Hey, you got to pay with me," and he gave him the card, and they walked away.
Yeah.
Like
It's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Is he embarrassed? Like, what's the whole story here? Because I don't think there is
he
a.
secretly ate the credit card. He was behind.
He's
the
a he.
He's
didn't have enough
just
for dinner
Full
yet.
Cookie Monster. On the
Wow.
credit card. Yep.
Wow.
And that's embarrassing too.
Yeah,
so
it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the guy.
I mean, we're all eating credit cards in our own way. Dan?
Yeah, they're going nuts in the chat. Don't worry, guys. We all had it written, but Brian and I watched this together. We talked about it. There's a character in this movie who the only other time I've seen her in Hallmark is in Just One Kiss last year, where she plays, spoiler alert if you've not seen that movie, a mom who actually at the end of the movie is dead. And we don't know it the whole movie. Well, in this movie, she plays, I guess, a friend of Rachel's or like a...
Or if you're in pain in this
neighbor.
case, still didn't know.
a confidant or someone that just has box wine. Well, she only talks to two people all
Talk
movie.
down to box wine.
She talked. No, I would
That
never.
was a funny little touch.
She talks to Rachel and she talks to Dave Cohen, and that is it. She doesn't talk to anybody else. And
She is at a party and she does say something. No one else really acknowledges that, though.
I think Doris is a ghost. She's offering sage wisdom. She has the necklace that makes Clay come to life.
When pressed, why do you have this with you? She says, "You never know. I have stuff you never know. When are you going to need it?"
I mean, it doesn't
Definitely
add
a
up.
ghost.
Because if she's not a ghost, then this is really bad staging of a movie. Like, how does she never talk to anyone else all movie
Well,
long?
didn't Clay, he learned to make the what was the dessert? Rugula with Doris, and he said that he went to make the rugula with Doris because he made it. Remember
Yeah,
that?
Clay's not real, Brian.
Well, in this he is.
Clay is not a real human being. They made him from literal
Was
clay.
you think she was him? You think they're similar? Maybe she was made from clay, or
Wow.
But everybody
now
can
we-
see Clay.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah,
can
everybody
see
can.
Clay.
Everybody loves Clay.
But
Everybody wants him. Everybody needs him.
yeah,
right.
double decker
Sure.
of the week. I just think she doesn't ever have a conversation with anyone outside of that little sphere there, and I think she was the one that was pulling all the strings here. She's like the ghost, like a touched by an angel.
I will say,
When you walk
down the road. Okay, so I will say the one wrench is
She
her.
talks to David. She talks to Rachel. That's it.
I know, but she did teach Clay how to bake. Even though
She did.
Even though Clay
Yeah,
is
I don't count Clay.
What do you mean you don't count?
You
You
have
have
to.
to
He's
count
real.
Clay.
I don't count
Clay's
Clay.
interacting
You
with
have to.
everybody.
It does. Yeah, that's still Clay was made by
To live
Rachel.
for so much more.
Like
He lived in a house.
that's right. No, different house.
Okay.
If Clay was invisible, for instance,
Yes. There it is. Finally, we get a Clay.
Whoa!
what
He's not, though.
What do you think he would do? Would he just watch you in your room?
I think you would, but Clay's not invisible. Clay's real,
Yeah.
and everybody knows Clay.
As soon as that necklace comes off, is Clay real?
We don't know.
That doesn't
what
matter.
happened?
What
Dan.
I'm saying is Doris can only talk to the people she sent to help or to other supernatural beings like her, which Clay is one of them.
But David's not.
David is who she sent to get
Oh, it's okay.
David and Rachel together.
But David seems to like. Does she introduce herself to David?
Never. Does she?
Does she? When?
She says, "Hi, I'm Doris."
At the club, when she's telling him this is his
Right. I know they talk.
before that.
But does she? Do they seem like they already know each other?
He acts like he doesn't know her at all, doesn't he? He's like, "Who are you?" Doesn't he say that? He's like, "Who are you?"
That's when she introduces herself.
Yeah.
She says, I'm the neighbor.
Ah, that's right. Okay. My point being, if they had a prior, I'm not discounting. I'm just trying to work through this, just like
I got
everybody
it, I got
else.
it, I got it,
is.
I got it.
Just
Yeah.
trying to work through this.
Like
I
everybody
think
else is.
if she didn't make cookies or arugula with Clay, I think this is clear as crystal. I understand Clay's not a real boy with he has a belly button, but he doesn't have a social security
You're
number.
doing a good job arguing for both of us.
I'm just saying. I'm not even arguing against you. I'm just talking it through,
You're
bro.
talking it through.
It's hard.
That's what this is about.
This is what's wrong with this country.
We
You
can't sit
can no,
here
you
and
can no
talk-
longer just talk things through.
That's right. You know, like we can't hear.
I say something and you take it as this is what you believe about everything. I'm not saying that Doris isn't a ghost. She very well may be. I'm just
Great.
talking it through.
Great.
Don't at me.
I would never, and I would never look down on
Can I
box wine.
send
I
you a
would be clear
contact?
about both of those things.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. I will try to get. You know what? How about I shout out Matt, and by Friday, maybe sometime on Friday, I'll give you an answer about whether
I
or
like
not
this.
Doris is
ghost.
is a ghost.
And then why isn't she talking to anybody else if she's not?
Oh,
Why can no
I've
one
got an
else see
answer. I think that she was supposed to seem a little mysterious.
Who is this
This
from?
is Matt.
Oh, Matt Cohen's already got back.
I think
say,
she
you
was
got your
Friday
supposed.
came early.
God from on high. Send you a
I
text
think she
message?
was supposed to seem a little mysterious,
Yeah.
as if she could be real or could not be real.
Oh, could be either way.
Great
Could be either
non-answer
way.
there. They don't want us to know.
They don't want us to know.
They
That's
want us
big,
to
big
fight.
tech.
They want to tear us apart.
They want to tear us apart. That's exactly right.
That's right. No belly button. Kyle,
I think
why?
she's a ghost.
Clay.
I don't
belly
think she's a
button,
ghost.
Still
She's
not.
a ghost. I think that the fact that they want you to consider it proves that she is.
Proves she's a ghost.
I don't know how that proves anything.
The shadow proves the darkness. We're going to be back tomorrow with The Way
Shadow would
Home.
prove the light, wouldn't it?
It would. If there
I
were.
don't know. Take it up with the band that
it's
said
got
it. I don't know.
Can we get them on the line?
Yeah, okay. We're going back tomorrow with The Way Home. Thursday, Jax will be here. Lord willing, the flights work. Big snowstorms, I believe, are happening this week. But we'll see what happens with Wind Calls to Heart coming back for 2 more seasons. And then on Friday, Brian will be back. We'll be talking about a Nashville legacy. A big
I'm happy
week.
about you. The Wind Calls the Heart news is what I
A
was
big
getting.
week, a big week. Until then, maybe we'll be the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.